Now a break in the case of a double in Miramar.
2 people now behind bars, including a South Florida rapper.
That's right, and take a look here. Just moments ago, we obtained this rapper's mugshot from the Broward County Jail. Local 10 news cameras were rolling back in October outside the Miramar Memorial Hospital emergency room. Detectives say the 2 arrived here in this 2018 Jeep, the back windshield appearing to be
The upcoming YNW Melly retrial has now been delayed until 2027, and the reason is tied to YNW Bortland's cooperation. It began when it was announced that Melly's double retrial was postponed yet again. During a hearing on Friday, August 8th, the 4th District Court of Appeals granted a stay in the case, giving time to consider a motion filed by the state attorney's office. This stay means the trial will not begin in September, as planned, and is now pushed back to January 2027. With the trial delayed, prosecutors are working on a deal with YNW Bortland, which is why they need more than a year to finalize it. The News wrote, "A no communication order has been filed in the YNW Melly trial. The order completely separates Melly and Bortland. No talking, no communication through lawyers, just silence." Prosecutors are pressuring Bortland to testify, as they plan to try him and Melly together in the next trial.
Here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
Having YNW Bortland on their side will put Melly in a dangerous position in the next trial, as Bortland would be able to validate the evidence against him. This became clear when the judge confirmed that Melly will be tried alongside Bortland in the next trial.
Mr. Henry can remain separate trial, September the 10th at 9 o'clock with Mr. Jones, pending whatever future motion that I'm going to get. I'm in another capital case right now. I have 4 hearing dates left to do between now and September the 10th. I gave the parties those 4 days, and I'm holding all of those dates times open only for these 2 defendants. So anything that you need for, okay?
As reported during Wednesday's hearing, Judge Martin Fine addressed Bortland's attorney, stating, "So, Mr. Haddad, for the time being, Mr. Henry will remain set for trial with YNW Melly, confirming that they will be tried together, even though it will happen at a later date. If Bortland knows he is not responsible for this crime, it will be difficult for him to accept a life sentence simply because he is seen as Melly's closest friend. This makes it highly likely that he will point the finger at Melly, just as Melly's defense tried to do to him in the first trial. What many may not know is that Melly and Bortland have not spoken in years. Ever since Melly's lawyer attempted to pin the blame on Bortland in the first trial, their friendship has completely ended.
Those were his lies. Corporal Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. And you don't see him sitting there, but where you will sitting is in the driver's seat of a car, buddy's car, riddled with. And when he shows up with a change of clothes. On his hand, evidently that he didn't touch a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Was, in fact, Melly's own lawyer, who argued that it was YNW Bortland who lied to investigators. Bortland was found with gunpowder residue on his hands and was the last person with juvie and Sackchaser before they passed away. The defense even brought in a forensic scientist to testify in greater detail, suggesting that Bortland could have been the guilty one.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of plant residue and 2 component particles, and the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of plant residue and 1 component particle.
And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was.
It was at this point that Bortland began cutting TIs with Melly, especially after Melly's mistrial was declared. A report revealed that on the very same day, Bortlen posted a mysterious tweet that read, "Mind games don't work on people like me," with a handshake emoji almost as if he had accepted a deal. What's alarming is that Bortlen now has every reason to testify against Melly, especially considering what investigators later discovered in his home.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
As revealed, images were discovered during the raid of Bortlen's home, showing alleged notes where he had drawn the seating layout of jurors for Melly's trial, complete with descriptions of what they looked like. Keep in mind, these sketches were made before Melly's lawyers accused him in open court. This raises the possibility that Bortlen may have been preparing to intimidate or even target jurors if they found his best friend guilty.
Keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on! It's like doing and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro! Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. Like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
But here is where the case becomes even more dangerous for Melly. Let me explain. With Bortlen's testimony, prosecutors can validate new evidence they plan to use against Melly. One piece they are focused on is a Facebook post showing Melly with Young Thug. They are using this to argue that Melly is affiliated with the same gang that Young Thug is accused of being part of the Red Street team.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, saying what he did. And he puts up his YNW. This or that attack. Big hand signs, displayed.
Right, and so you can just move the gun. And so that's also Young Thug.
Yes.
Inside court, Melly even told his lawyers to let prosecutors use that evidence, because he knew Bortlen would confirm it anyway, given that he has already made a deal. The news wrote, today's hearing marks the first time Melly publicly went against his legal team's advisement in open court, where Melly was seen yelling at his lawyers, insisting the evidence will be validated regardless.
Yes, sir.
Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You objected to their request we need to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us.
People inside the courtroom overheard Melly say, "I don't care. I'm not in no gang. They can't prove it."
924-071. Call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership, and again, there were things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, not definitely aggravator. That's the itself, Your Honor. He was charged with committing the fourth degree, which is an aggravator in terms of
something that they would have to find by way of interrogatory.
Yes.
But prosecutors also have new testimony from a former O Block member who claims Melly confessed a secret told by King Von. Before King Von passed away and before Melly's arrest, the two were close friends. King Von allegedly told this O Block member that Melly had asked him for advice on how to deal with people, implying how to make them disappear.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me, bro. Why you put up there, bro? Why the bam? I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that it's two friends? And he said, him was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
Now prosecutors have 2 years to make this evidence admissible. If successful, Melly could face life in prison, but that isn't the only case hanging over him. If you've not been following the YNW Melly trial closely, he faces another life sentence charge. In the first trial, he avoided conviction only because his ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, fled the United States and never testified. But just last month, she attempted to return.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Mariah Hamilton was arrested immediately upon her return to the U.S. She struggled in jail, and at her first hearing, the judge gave her an offer. If you agree to testify against Melly and tell the truth about everything, you're free to go. She accepted instantly. This is devastating news for Melly. On Facebook, she wrote, "To my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." All she needs to do is confirm the evidence found in her iCloud, which allegedly shows Melly forcing her not to testify. That amounts to witness tampering and could guarantee Melly a life sentence.
State filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
This witness tampering case is separate from Melly's case involving Sackchaser and Juvie's deaths. There is still a world where Melly could be acquitted in their case. But if Mariah confirms the messages showing he pressured her not to testify, he will likely spend the rest of his life in prison.
Are now charged with witness tampering. There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom.
Because of this alleged witness tampering through jail phones, Melly has been banned from using phones for more than a year. It became so severe that his mother, Jamie King, did an interview exposing the jail for not allowing her son to make calls or even see his mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if the evidence proves Melly used jail phones to tamper with witnesses, then this restriction is justified and the evidence is most likely preserved. Authorities would not risk banning him from communication without proof, as it could otherwise lead to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Because of this, Jamie King says she is heartbroken and feels helpless, as her son is not even being treated like a human.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone.
The situation gained attention across the rap industry. Charleston White reacted, saying this is the life YNW Melly should be living. He shouldn't receive special treatment because he's a rapper, especially if he used jail phones for witness tampering.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
But it also drew the attention of rap veteran Boozy, who spoke about the stress Jamie King is facing, comparing it to the struggles his own mother endured.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
Despite this, Melly did gain a small victory in court, one that could impact his future release date. To understand how, it's important to note that an FBI agent specializing in cell phone data testified. Reports confirm Melly's defense questioned the agent about Melly's phone records at the time of the crime.
Some of that information, you can't really tell the court precisely which locations it's going to fall in anyway.
One of the limitations of cellular analysis is that you can only say a general device would be a good time.
Alright, so even with the general analysis, all of the stuff that we've gone through for about 4 or 5 hours, at the end of the day, you can never give an exact location.
True.
And could you tell if somebody was walking around a car with a phone? Did you ever tell that?
No.
So your testimony that this phone, 907, could be from here to here, correct?
Testimony was critical, but what followed gave Melly a real win. A DNA specialist then took the stand, analyzing multiple items collected at the crime scene, including evidence from the Jeep. The analyst confirmed that Melly's DNA was not present on several items recovered from the scene.
So going to item number 22, the swab from the Gucci sandals. We're able to compare the profiles of Mr. Demmons as opposed to the profiles developed from those samples.
I did, and he was excluded.
The stain on the front of the t-shirt, item number 23, we're able to compare Mr. Demmons' profile to that.
I didn't excluded.
What about item number 24? That's item of the rear of the t-shirt.
Compared to the Demmons was excluded.
Okay, then on item number 25, that swab came from the airport.
Again, an exclusion.
Going on to item number 26, the swab from the yellow jacket.
An exclusion as well.
And in terms of item number 27 and 28, the swabs at the Gatorade bottles. What were the results on them?
His DNA was found on the Jeep's door handle, which was expected, since he entered the vehicle. What remains unexplained is why rapper Frito Bang picked up Melly after the crime. Prosecutors claim they have proof that Frito Bang picked up Melly and later dropped him at a nearby house.
In Chris Thomas. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Demmons is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin digital homing beacon to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Gibbons. Frederick Gibbons is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Gibbons, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Demmons has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
But this is another threat for Melly, because Bortland could explain why Frito did that and also reveal the context behind. A text message Melly sent just hours after the crime that read, "I did that."
PT Gambino Tom asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
Bortland could also confirm why prosecutors added more evidence. Melly did not realize he was filmed admitting to the killings of Juvie and Sackchaser. Only hours after the crime, Melly was caught on video dancing in a parking lot with Bortland.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
The video showed no sign of grief for their two closest friends. And now the question remains, do you believe YNW Melly committed this crime? Comment below and share your thoughts. And leave a like if you're a fan of Melly's music.